Hello everyone, it's Wes here, back with another video. So, in this video, I want to talk about something that I always see on people's CVs, and I think it is not necessary for you to put it on your CV. Now, I stand to be corrected, but this is just my observation, and I'll explain why I think you shouldn't put this on your CV if you have it on your CV. So, let me start by saying most of the times I always say how we craft our CVs mostly starts from either we inherited a CV from either our parents or maybe from making it seem as if like a DNA or something else, right? I'm just talking about the CV, guys. So either you get it from your parents, maybe your father, or you get it from your brother, or you get it from your friends, or you get it maybe from your lecturer, you get it from your sister, you get it from anyone else, right? And then you use that CV to craft your own, right? So what normally happens is the CV that you have taken will determine what you will put on your CV, because what you will believe in your mind is whatever I've taken from this CV, from my friend or from my brother or from my sister, must be correct, because I mean they're using this CV or they've been using this CV, they were employed using this CV, so everything must be correct, right? That's what you think. If possible, once you have been able to inherit, as I said, or you have been able to get a CV from your friend or your colleague or anyone else, firstly, you should ask yourself this question: is everything on this CV important for me as an individual? Like, should I just copy and paste and then maybe just change the name? Or maybe not everything is important. So, the thing that I'm talking about today, which I believe it is not necessary on your CV, is the career objective. Now, let me put it this way. If you look at people's CVs, some CVs, they have the section for your details, like your name, your address, and the like. That's great. And then they have the section for uh, a a professional profile, which is maybe 8 or 9 lines. And then after that, there's another section which says career objectives. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't see the reason why you need to put the career objectives. Now, what normally people put there is my career objective is to work for a big multinational company, for example. That's your objective, right? Your career objective. My career objective is to work for a big multinational company, for me to showcase my skills, for me to showcase my experience, or whatever. That's what people write. But I'll be honest to say, I don't think you have to put the career objective on your CV. This is the reason. I like to think that the career objective, or even your goals, just in general, as your career goals, they are personal to you, right? So they may not be in line with the company that you're applying for, right? For example, maybe your goal is to work for a multinational company or whatever, right? And maybe there's a vacancy that just came out, and then you only use the very same CV, you don't modify it. You are sending it to, let's say, to a certain startup, and then you're showing them, you know what, I would like to work for this big multinational company and the like. Yes, you're showing your goals or your career plan, but the thing is that may not be in line with just with a startup that has just maybe they only have like 3 employees and you'll be the fourth one. They're trying to upscale, and yeah, you see. So I like to think to say, if possible, you don't have to put your career objective on the CV, but this is what you can do instead. The career objective, or maybe what I would call the career roadmap, should be something that is only personal to yourself. So if possible, I always advise to say, please make a career roadmap for maybe 5 to 7 years, to give yourself these years to say, I'll give an example, from 2025 to 2030, what do I want to achieve in my career? Now, this has nothing to do with the company that you want to work for. It is just to do with your own personal career goals or plans, right? So you say, let's say from 2025 to 2027, I would like maybe to work in this position, let's say as an officer. I'm trying to build my skills, my leadership skills, and the like. And then from 2028 to 2029, I'd like to get maybe either, let's say, maybe a supervisory role or something like a managerial role. So this will kind of like give you a guideline for what you have to do, instead of you putting it on the CV. To be honest, it doesn't make sense for you to put it on the CV. Now, one thing that I have to say about the career roadmap is that it does not have to be perfect, and you don't have to follow it through and through. What I mean by that is this. I'll use the same example that I said. You can have a plan to like for 5 years, but let's say after you have worked for 2 years, maybe you've already been promoted to be a manager, which you thought you would do maybe after 5 years, but then after 2 years you've already been promoted. So you can't deny that a promotion in the name of like, oh, I'd like to be in line with my career plan or objective. No, the thing is, you still stick to your plan or objective, but then you just kind of like change the time scales to say, okay, I thought I'd be a manager by in 5 years, but I'm a manager in 2 years. It means I have to just maybe change the time scales. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today, just to say, you know what, you don't need to put your career objective on your CV. It is not necessary. But anyway, as I always say, to say there are always different ways of doing things. Maybe you find this very helpful on your CV. Either maybe I don't know, maybe you find a way to write it in a better way. If you do, maybe you want to write in the comment section just for me to see how this works with you applying for different types of jobs. But also, if you work in the HR or if you work in recruitment, I would like to know, if you are reviewing someone's CV, do you focus on, and let's say they have this section for career objective, do you get to read it through, and does this maybe provide a competitive edge to this uh, individual or candidate? But also, let me ask you, if you're a recruiter or you work in the HR, when you're going to look at on someone's CV, do you say, I'm going to look for the career objective, or maybe that's not even something that comes to your mind? Yeah, if you have the career objective section on your CV, you may want to remove it today or tomorrow or next week or maybe next month. But anyway, I hope you do find this video helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.